Gets it right back. Here's Schneider in, dishes off. Gregg scores! Let him fly, kids! He'll walk in, stays with it. Centering pass, they score! Luca Branden adds another! Here's Chad Nychuk down the wall for Connor Gutenberg. He'll set things up. Backdoor Gregg again, he scores! Oh, it's a mirror image. It's 3-0. Luca Branden, he's got McCallum with him. Pulls, shoots, scores! Luca Branden! And it's 4-0. And Schneider's got two guys with him for Branden. Backdoor, a chance, stop, rebound, they score! Lyndon McCallum make it 5-0. Corner Schneider gonna wallpaper him into the glass over on the far side. Landon Kozier's rocked by Duncan Pierce, and the crowd likes that. Here's Ridley Gregg back to the top, all the way around, back from McCartney, far side, Nychuk in front, what a goal! Tic-tac-toe, it's in the net. Inside, Tarswell throws it to the front of the net, Patera gets the glove on it. Unbelievable save by Yuri Patera. Slot, here's a chance, Chorney back door, oh what a stop by Ethan Kruger. Got across with the blocker. All the way around the block, into the high slot, Schmiemann. Plenty of room, sends it into the corner for Nolan Ritchie. Takes it off the hop, wraparound chance, right in front, they score! And it's Cole Reinhardt. 40 seconds to go here in the period. Branden on the power play. Here's Branden trying to pull it down into the Swift Current zone. Sharp angle shot, didn't get through. Here's Nolan Ritchie, scores! Oh, Nolan Ritchie put everything he had into that one. It's 2-0. He turned over. Here's Bradley Janelle to the top of the circles. Janelle in a shot, scores! Riley Janelle, and it's 4-0. Callie and Kelly in behind the Tiger goal, centering pass. Here's a chance for Jason, scores! The center, here's Luca Branden. He's got a step over on the far wing. Branden trying to cut to the net, he scores! Oh, Luca Branden, he looked like Bobby Orr. The top of the far circle, back across Slotty, holds on, dishes off, high slot, they score. Jackson Leopard from the top of the circle snaps one by Yuri Patera, and it's a 1-0 Winnipeg lead on the power play. Teams, and they need one here to get back in the hockey game. Here's Ridley Gregg driving in to the far side, throws it in front for Gutenberg, and he scores a power play goal. We're tied at 1. He fell down. McCallum's got a step. He'll cut to the net. Here's Lyndon McCallum in, scores. Here's Iorio. Carries it in, throws it on goal, back door, they score, and it's Reinhardt, the hat trick. Hey hockey fans, I'm Branden Crowe with your Pizza Express Home Opener Report. Welcome to the 2019-2020 Western Hockey League season. Tonight, history in the making. The Winnipeg Ice roll into town. The last time Branden played a Winnipeg team in a regular season game, February 26th of 1984. That night, Ray Ferraro and Cam Plant each had 5-point nights in a 14-1 victory over Winnipeg. Certainly plenty of fresh faces around the organization. It all starts right at the top. General Manager Darren Ritchie, he's been in the organization a long time, and he's done a great job of carving out this roster for new head coach Dave Lowry. Plenty of young faces and plenty of returning faces as well. Of course, Ben McCartney, Luca Branden, Yuri Patera are all back from their respective NHL camps, and some young guys have really shone during training camp. Jake Chason, Nolan Ritchie expected to be big parts of this youth movement moving forward. It's the first of 10 meetings on the season tonight between the Brandon Wheat Kings and the Winnipeg Ice. They'll do battle again tomorrow night at the Wayne Fleming Arena at the University of Manitoba. This is the Wheat Kings Home Opener Report brought to you by Pizza Express. Enjoy the game. Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome inside Westoba Place. I'm Branden Crowe with your Pizza Express pregame report. After playing 13 of their last 20 games on the road, the Brandon Wheat Kings return home tonight. They'll wrap up the month of November with 3 of 4 here at Westoba Place, including 2 this weekend. It all starts tonight. The Calgary Hitmen come into town. It's their 5th straight road game as they're on a season-high 6-game road trip. They'll wrap up in Moose Jaw tomorrow. They've got points in 5 of their last 6 games. Brandon on the upswing after back-to-back victories on the road over a couple of tough opponents. Sunday in Edmonton and then Tuesday in Medicine Hat. The Wheat Kings are looking for their first 3-game win streak of the season. Ethan Kruger will get the start between the pipes tonight. This just a couple of days after making 32 saves, shutting out the highest scoring team in the Eastern Conference. Other lineup changes tonight for Brandon. Jack Zayat and Johnny Hooker are out of the lineup tonight. Bodie Hagan has a question mark next to his name on the lineup card. It's the Wheat Kings and the Hitmen next. Hey, hockey fans, welcome to another edition of the Crow's Nest. I'm Branden Crowe from Q Country Radio. He's Perry Bergson from the Brandon Sun. A busy three-game and three-night weekend. It all starts tomorrow night. The Vancouver Giants come to town. The last time the Giants were here, a couple of years ago. It's a biannual trip for them. That night, Cale Clegg, 3 goals and an assist in a 6-5 Brandon win. A lot of things have changed with both clubs, but one piece that is still a major part of that Vancouver Giants is Bowen Byram. Fans are going to get a chance to see the 4th overall pick on display here. What did you think of him as a 16-year-old and the way he's come along?
Well, I can't wait to see him again. You know, obviously you don't want to see a high-end player like that more than once every 2 years because you might get used to them. So it's going to be exciting to see him come in. He was a dynamic player as a 16-year-old, 4th overall pick. I just can't wait.
Speaking of dynamic players, Ridley Gregg coming off his suspension, draws back in. He's skating on a line this week with Ben McCartney and Luca Burzan. That kind of sends a ripple effect right from the top down in the lineup, and it's really the full lineup now. There's no one else to come in.
Well, Dave Lowry told me after Saturday night's loss in Moose Jaw that there are no more excuses coming into Friday and this weekend. With Ridley Gregg coming back, slotting into your top line, that's that ripple effect that goes right down through all 4 lines. And he told me guys are playing for their spots this weekend.
Certainly an interesting dynamic. Edmonton comes to town on Saturday before a quick road trip to Saskatoon. Then just one final home game before that early U.S. road trip. So realistically, there's only a couple more chances to play comfortably at home here before a tough stretch of hockey on the road.
That is a tough stretch of hockey, but at the same time, it's a much-loved trip by the team. You know, they get a chance to spend a lot of time together. It's a good team bonding thing. Kelly McCrimmon always liked to have that trip earlier in the season just to get his team meshed.
That trip begins on Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend, October 12th, but there's still some hockey to be played here at Westoba Place. It all starts tomorrow night. The Vancouver Giants in town Saturday. It's Willie's birthday as the Edmonton Oil Kings come to town. Try and celebrate that one with all the young kids here in the building, and then Sunday a day trip to Saskatoon. Both games Friday, Saturday, 7:30 starts here at Westoba Place. Hockey fans, and welcome to the final day of training camp ahead of tomorrow's inter-squad game that'll wrap things up heading into the first week of the WHL preseason. I'm Branden Crowe from Q Country Radio, and of course, new head coach Dave Lowry joining me here this afternoon. And Dave, obviously, it's your first camp here in Brandon, and you're kind of just getting settled in. What have you seen so far, and what have you liked from the guys?
Well, the one thing that I've really liked is I've liked the competitive spirit on the ice. All these, especially the young guys, today's a tough day for them. They went through rookie camp. Practices were hard, and we're introducing them to the pace and the style that we want to play. Some of them aren't used to it, so you look at it, bring them in, put them in the games. It's a whole new experience for them, and it's a different level of hockey that they're used to.
You know, it's a smaller camp, and I've noticed there's a lot more, practice time. And in previous camps, maybe that's not overly possible with more numbers. For yourself, have you found you've been able to teach a little more at this training camp than in past ones?
I think every time you get on the ice, you have to look at it as an opportunity to teach, and sometimes it looks like you're slowing things down. But what we want to do is we are introducing new drills, and with the drills are details. And one of the strengths of our team is going to be how detail-oriented we are. You have to start day one, and if there's something that you don't like, we want to correct it now so that we're not correcting it in November, December.
Well, certainly you've got a big week coming up. The first preseason game starts on Friday, 4 of them this year. What's your plan of attack for the week? Some guys will be going away to the NHL camps, and you'll have some younger guys in. What's the plan? What sort of goals do you want to achieve heading into the first weekend of the preseason?
The big thing that we focused on here in camp, number one, is more along pace and just getting a lot of these guys to understand how we're going to play. This week we will start implementing a little bit more detail in terms of the systems and how we're going to play. We look at not trying to overload them with information. I still want to evaluate some players on their reactions and how they think the game and not where they're supposed to be. The last thing we want to do is get these guys thinking, well, I'm supposed to be here, and they're not playing to their strengths. And we'll live with mistakes in training camp and in through the exhibition games. There are going to be mistakes. We're going to have a lot of young guys dressed, but what we will do is we'll use them as teachable moments, and we'll correct while we're moving along.
A couple more chances for these young guys to impress. Tonight at 6 o'clock, the final scrimmage before the roster will be cut down. Tomorrow's inter-squad game here at Westoba Place begins at 2 o'clock.